Here you are with Ivan Phipps. Ivan, how are we doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. And what do you do here?
I'm technical director here at AMS Performance.
Let's run through some stats.
AMS stands for Automotive Sports. We began working on Eclipse Talons lasers back in 2001, steadily progressed up through turbo all-wheel drive platforms, made parts and made a reputation by using those parts. And now we're working on vehicles like GTRs, Porsches, Lamborghinis, Audi R8s, some pretty expensive, really nice vehicles.
Snap-on tools are being utilized.
Snap-on tools work for us. I mean, they make a lot of specialized tools that we just can't do without. They're reliable. We have a Snap-on guy that shows up every week, services our tools, recommends new tools, gives us the ability to stay working and stay productive. Currently have 4 technicians here, a bunch of welders, engineers. We have a bunch of different people that are all using Snap-on tools to do their jobs.
What are the big accolades?
We've dominated time attack when we've participated. We've always had world records as far as drag racing, everything. I mean, we just basically dominate every avenue we approach.
I think that's a huge accolade. We dominate. Like that's a strong word. There's a lot of square footage here. You guys are doing some really cool stuff. Let's go check it out, Evan.
Cool. This is the main shop here at AMS. This is where we install the parts that we build and build the race cars that people drive.
A wide degree of vehicles with full drag wings, parachutes, to street cars.
We're doing a motor build on the Huracan here. It's twin turboed. We'd already done a twin turbo kit on it. We have drag cars, we have street cars, we have road race cars. All the parts that we build, fabricate, and sell go out through that door right there.
This car has some scribbles right here. What is this all about?
Well, basically this is Alpha G. This is customer Gideon Chomdi's car. He wanted to be the quickest GTR owner in the world. These are part of our accolades here. We were the first people to go in the 9s, the first people to go in the 8s, first people in the 7s. And this car and Gideon were the very first people to go in the 6s with an R35 GTR.
That's insane.
It's the world's quickest, fastest, all-wheel drive platform, bar none.
What is taking you to that point?
We've developed so many parts to make this possible. As you make more horsepower, stuff breaks, and you have to overcome those obstacles and make new stuff. Eventually that stuff does trickle down into the parts that we offer to all of our other customers. This car in particular has been a really good test bed for our billet block program. We now sell billet blocks to a lot of street customers. This car puts down about probably 2,700 wheel horsepower turned all the way up. From all aluminum 4-liter V6, that's a lot of horsepower.
What's crazy to me is that like this customer came to you and says, hey, I want to build the fastest, and you guys stepped it up. Also, kudos to Gideon.
Big props to Gideon. I mean, super passionate, stuck with us, and there were some hardships. Like I said, got to break some parts to make a lot of horsepower, and he stuck with us, and we provided him with what he wanted, and that was the very first 6-second R35 GTR.
Well, R&D, we call it ripping and dragging and tearing. You guys are doing it, and you don't scribble that just on any car. That is proof is in the pudding. It trickles down into your manufacturing, into your parts. Let's check out more of this beautiful shop. Cool looking car, but what's even better about it is it performs. This is the Alpha Queen. What are some of the accolades of this vehicle?
Our very first pass down the strip ran a 7-second quarter mile, went from unknown to the 7th fastest GTR in the world.
The rose gold, the details. You're known as AMS. What's Alpha though?
It's the label we've given for all of our higher end products. The billet throttle bodies, the billet intake manifold, the carbon plenums, the intercooler piping, and everything underneath there is Alpha. It's what we do. Overall, I mean, it's a very similar car to Alpha G, about the same horsepower, maybe 100 horsepower less, so probably around 2,500 wheel horsepower turned all the way up.
Just 2,500. The progression of the vehicles, progression of tools. Are there any particular tools that stand out in your mind that you guys are utilizing?
I use a ton of Snap-on tools.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of products, there are lots of tools that are specific, really help us out.
And you pointed, is this your box?
Yeah, this is my roll-around box here.
You got a GTR badge, Harley Davidson, you're in to go fast.
Absolutely.
How we doing, Ricky?
Good, how are you?
First off, congratulations, man. You're the lead tech on Alpha G, right?
Yes, I am.
I mean, just to push that and then break and grab that record, I mean, that's unbelievable.
Pushing these cars past the limit and technologically just making them better and better. And that's what we're here for,
Reaching that threshold, breaking that record. It came with some hardships. You said it was hard, man.
Car caught fire and 2 engines and a bumper flew off and just a whole bunch of stuff that weekend. And
how do you get to that level?
We kind of started with what we knew already, and that's our base of 1,800 horsepower through our old Omega program. It's trial and error at that point, doing what we know and testing that out, testing our own theories, and if they work, they work, and if they don't, they don't, but you learn from it and you keep going.
And how integral was the Snap-on tools playing a role in that situation?
Huge part. That's all these guys trust around here. And to have, you know, an accurate torque wrench on hand is completely a necessity, you know?
Yeah.
And we wouldn't trust anything else.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, and thank you for using Snap-on tools.
Yep, thank you.
Ivan, where are we now?
We're in our research and development and engineering facility. We found that purchasing vehicles so that we could build parts and, you know, experience the vehicles, see how they operate. So this is our facility for checking fitment and operation.
This is Mercedes behind us. Tell us some of the specs on it and what are some of the parts you make?
CLA 45 AMG. It's about a 400 horsepower motor from the factory. We do an intake system that's super popular on this thing. We do tunes on this, working on turbocharger for it. It's a really badass car.
Great looking car out of the box, but it's very intricate, tight tolerances. How do you make the perfect part to work with the vehicle?
We have laser scanners, we have a roamer arm, we measure and see the room that we have available, and then it goes into the other room where our engineers hammer away at their CAD software and design awesome parts. After they've designed a part, we'll rapid prototype, print the part or quick cast it. Give us something quickly that we can put in the car and check fitment and make sure that we're headed in the right direction.
If it's something as simple as an airbox, it's still very complex.
For our standards, at least, it has to fit and function like factory.
And then aesthetically, it's got to look good too.
Absolutely.
All right, well, this is R&D, but also it's called snail work. So if we could talk to some of your engineers and your technicians.
Excellent, let's go.
Lance, how we doing?
Good.
It's a white room. This is almost like a laboratory, dude. This is pretty neat.
Pretty much, yeah. We need to keep it clean so we can get accurate scans, pictures, all the information that we need to basically reverse engineer the cars and develop a product that we're working on.
Developing parts, but reverse engineering, walk me through that.
So basically we'll tear the car down. We analyze what the car needs. When we're developing a performance part, we're looking at where do we need to improve this part? That's where I come in, is I'll start to disassemble the car, work directly with the engineers, get the information that we need to actually move forward and develop a product that's going to be better than OEM fitment and performance.
What Snap-on tool do you find most in your hand?
Most of the cars we work on are directly off the assembly line. We actually have prototype cars here that we had before the rest of the market had.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of specialty tools, since Snap-on usually has this available before anybody else, since they work directly with the OEs.
Okay.
So we have a lot of those on hand to be able to disassemble these cars where not even the dealerships may even have them. I find that it's a lot of technical stuff like Snap-on torque wrenches that are critical for doing a lot of this high performance work. It's precision in the Snap-on tools that really makes a difference.
Lance, thank you so much. I'll let you get back to work. Again, amazing facility here.
Thank you.
This is a machine shop facility here. This is where we turn hunks of metal like this into beautiful billet parts like this.
And what part are we looking at?
This is the alpha lower portion of the intake manifold, upper portion of the intake manifold, which eventually turns into this beautiful piece of artwork here, carbon plenum intake manifold.
And what's cool about this piece, you know, we saw it on the car, we saw it on the Alpha Queen vehicle. This is a real great testament to all things you do here at AMS and Alpha, because you've engineered it, you developed it, test, fit, finish. This is essentially the birth of a GTR intake manifold, but some things are actually fabricated and welded, and that's a different part of the shop, correct?
That is correct. Where a part like this turns into a part like that is in the welding, and that's what we do back over in the other main shop. Now we're in fabrication. This is where raw materials come in. They're cut, they're ground, they're shaped, they're welded together, turn into what we sell to the public, or in this case, this monstrosity.
What are we looking at?
This is our test bed for Garrett turbochargers and Garrett intercoolers. We wanted to make something that was easy to swap turbos on, so the turbos basically head height and exhaust out the roof, and some craziness here, but we'll be able to make changes really rapidly and quickly. We can test turbo differences same day. The knowledge that we're going to gain from this, our customers are going to benefit and be able to make better choices for their turbos.
Does this go over to the dyno?
This goes right to our dyno. We got a DynoJet 424X all-wheel drive dyno. We'll be able to put it on there.
What's the most horsepower that thing has seen?
We've maxed it out. They've given us different software so that we can measure beyond that 2,000 horsepower mark. I don't know what our actual record is. It's hard to say. You're limited by the grip on the tires.
So out of the machine shop, becoming a fabrication, there's a lot of parts. This is essentially kind of an assembly line, if I may.
Yeah, we We have 5 welding stations here. You can see all around us, we have tons and tons of product going together, getting ready to go to our shipping department and out the door to customers.
And we saw that GTR intake in the machining room and the process, but that's even just hand assembled right over here.
It's hand assembled just behind us.
I had to interrupt you here. What exactly are you working on?
Right now we have Alpha X downpipes.
Fabrication, did you learn in school? Something you're passionate about? Or?
No, I pretty much just learned at home. Picked up a MIG welder about 10 years ago and just went to town on metal.
And now you're working on the fastest cars in the world. Snap-on Tools has helped you get to that threshold. Why Snap-on Tools for you?
There's a lot of good quality in it. You pay for the tool and it treats you for life pretty much.
All right, Dominic, I gotta ask, what's the tool that you just can't live without, or something that you got the most hands on?
My 3/8 impact. I'm doing a lot of jigs. Usually working with them tight spaces, especially on cars, on the GTRs. This has enough kick, enough power to even get off the most stubborn rusty bolts. This is my go-to. I can't imagine using anything but this at this point, so.
It wasn't even staged, you just had it there, you're working on
Yeah,
it.
that's what I'm saying. It's like, when you see all the jigs and everything, it's what I use the most, so I love it.
Cool, right on. Well, we end where it began, the main shop. Thank you so much, and thank you for being a great Snap-on Tools customer. We've seen being utilized. You guys are building some high-performance machines.
Thanks for the great tools, and we appreciate it.
So 5 seconds, is it attainable?
Time will tell.
It's impressive what you guys do here, so keep up the good work, and thanks, man.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching Snap-on Tools Great Garages. Be sure to like it, share it, and join the conversation. What was your favorite vehicle here at AMS Performance? And for all things Snap-on Tools, be sure to subscribe.